Dream of the president, Mac Millie, I'm militant. I go long like a Philly bear. Pity you, silly fool. You know ain't nobody really finna you. Come on, clap, clap, and everybody in the back. All my ladies, where you at? We all at New York higher. Come on, get the clap. I see that crazy. Come on.
Y'all, let me tell you, my sister put me on to these marinated. All right, they carrots, okay, but they hot dogs. Let me tell you what she did. She boiled the carrots, like a bag of carrots, for like maybe 20, 15 minutes, and then she marinated them in like just random seasonings she had. And I have smoked paprika, sea salt, a little bit of cayenne, a bunch of stuff I threw, like garlic powder, onion powder, and marinated these joints for like 3 days. I'm telling you right now, I don't know, like, if you like smoky, flavored, like, link type stuff, that right there is going to get you right. And then I saw, you know, the Sabret onions with the red sauce that you used to get at the hot dog stand. They put the Sabret onions on top. I made some joints like that with the tomato sauce, the chopped up some onions. Oh, I'm about to eat. I'm about to eat.
That sounds so good to me because carrots is so bland. I got to do something to it.
They are. It's so good.
Please, Sister Ann. But making my greetings. I'm over here busting my butt trying to get my food in before you. I'm stuffed now, thankfully.
Oh my goodness! I got a plate of spaghetti. I got a bowl of spaghetti, and I can finish it.
Go ahead. Yeah, we gonna eat and talk today. Shoot.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. All right. So, how you been, sis? What's going on?
Which one?
Ann
or okay.
Oh, we starting.
We starting. We getting in there.
I'm just making sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh.
I didn't realize you were one of the sisters from Daughters of the Moon. I think she told me that. And I remember Mama Omi saying Ann was raised with spiritual with people who come from a family that was raised with hoodoo and different things like that, and I remember she said that. And then I put two and two together while I was looking at your profile. I was like, oh, that Ann.
Yes, it is I.
Oh,
yes,
my goodness.
It is
it's so good to have you. It's so good to have you. And y'all just
nice,
had the...
nice, you know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was, could you tell about your, about that background and, you know, like where you came from, you know, like, tell us about the people in your family and, you know, what they were into and, where you're from and, you know, if they pass things on to you and things like that, because so many of us, we didn't get that, you know what I mean? So it's like your royalty. So could you tell us about your...
Well, I'm not that. I mean, I met some sisters. They've learned from from coming out the womb. I had to kind of piece mine together because you have to understand too, especially the Carolinas, it's still hush hush.
Yeah.
So it's not like, growing up somewhere where you don't mind being isolated or growing up in, Louisiana or, somewhere like that where it's more open. So for me, my mother's people are Blackfoot Indians and Jamaicans. My maternal grandmother, she can go back 7 generations Blackfoot.
Wow.
She knows, she can go probably 3 or 4 back Jamaican, where she's been to the island, she's been back and forth, but she cut herself off. It has a lot to do with how families feel that, you're in America, so you live in this great life, and they don't understand it's the same here as it is there.
Child.
So a lot of this, you know how it is. You hear and they come over and, they get a visa and next thing they thinking they're going to wild out and then they get mad and they thinking you in America, so you making all this money. They don't realize is the diaspora is the same all over.
Right.
So and so died. So can you send some money? Because I know you got money up there.
Yeah, and that's the way it was. So my grandma kind of cut herself off. She still had, some of, like her grandmother, her great grandmother, and some of those were still there. But more of her learning was she kind of saw them doing things. It never was really taught.
Right.
She had a couple of uncles, who kind of, told her things here and there, but nothing more like, sit down, let me show you what I'm doing kind of thing.
Right.
And then so when she left South Carolina, and that's Georgetown area, so when they left, she went to New York. She was in Brooklyn with Bed-Stuy, and she hung around everybody. So she hung around, well, in South Carolina, her godfather was what they considered a Dago Jew. And Dago Jews were the darker hued Jews, the darker skinned Jews who are not the Hasidics or the what we consider these new Jews. They were, like us, but they were white, but they were more connected to indigenous and melanated people.
Okay.
So she hung around them. She hung around Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, other islanders, and that's what my grandma did. So she started getting more into the craft by being able to go to a botanica and walk around and, be able to, buy an Anne Reeves book or, one of them old number books or dream books and starting to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I remember those books.
And see, I didn't get a chance to see those books because most of them aren't in reproduction. They're very old. If you find one, it's going to be, somebody's estate sale or somebody, don't know what they got kind of thing. If they know what they got, they're going not, less than 100, nowhere.
Yeah.
But my grandmother got diagnosed with cancer when I was in high school, and this is before I kind of knew what was going on, because I've always been different. Out of all my cousins, my peers, I was the one, I stood to the side. I commingled. I never had a peer group.
Right.
And, I was on the playground in third grade, tranced out, seeing this little girl that died in the 50s on the playground. I could see what happened to her, everything, got back in the classroom on the chalkboard, tranced out, and my classmates looked at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Having spirits visiting you in your sleep and you learning about, Bloody Mary or, the witch riding your back, and then you get scared, but you don't know that all that's really you. So this has been like my whole life. So like, I'm 35 now, so like my late 20s, early 30s, I finally like got a chance to like, my grandma by now she's, she knows I'm in the craft and I'm, reading people, which I've been doing all my life. People, always looked at it as judgment. I was like, I'm not judging you, but I'm going to tell you what's really going on. They were like, oh, you're not giving people a chance and you're not, you're being critical. And I'm like, you see what I see and know, then you understand why I'm telling you this. And so, it's hard to make friends sometimes because, they're thinking, oh, you think you cute. Oh, you play sports. Ooh, you think you intelligent or smart, Ooh, my boyfriend liked you and I don't like you. And I'm like, but I wouldn't even know half the people like me because nobody talked to me in high school. So, those kind of things was like, what do you mean?
So did they
like
kind of, did they, everybody knew about it? About your gifts?
No, this, they kind of, it was more of, when people can sense something, but they don't know what they're sensing.
Yeah.
They just don't like you.
Right. I've gone through
that. They know
that
something
a lot.
special or different about you, and they just don't like you. I've seen it in the last few workplaces. I worked at a big call center for a national company, and I had been there maybe, almost 2 years. I was there for a couple of years. You know, I'm in college. I took some time off, and so I'm in the small center, and we got these new hires, and, you know, I'm, you know, hey, girl, how you doing kind of thing, and she keeps snubbing me, and I'm not understanding, but when she comes over to talk to my pod mate, she's standing on my side of the cubicle. So, you know, that's meaning you're including me. If you're in my side of the cubicle, then that means you're including me in the conversation. And then finally my homegirl was like, she don't like you. And I was like, for real? I never got that feeling because, you know, I'm in my bubble and I'm, you know, being myself. She's never done nothing like directly. And then when I finally like pulled myself, I started noticing things. And it was like she could not explain why she didn't like me, just she didn't want to be bothered with me.
Yeah. I've been there. I have been there.
And, you know, that's hurtful because, you know, I've always been on the love vibration.
Yeah.
Because we're technically here to love. If anything else, we're here for love. Love is, you know, it's the catalyst for us to do a lot of things. It's not the only reason we're here, but it's the catalyst. It's what, you know, keeps things in motion. You know, I had a supervisor when I worked for government. I didn't even know what the lady looked like. I was getting called to my main supervisor's office every other day for something stupid. Dress this code, that way, this way, that way. I'm looking like, but I'm in dress code. Everybody else wearing, so why am I getting called out? Then finally one day she came down to one of our little social things on the floor, and I was like, that's her? And I went back upstairs to my friends in a different department, and they was like, you didn't know? I was like, no. Ooh, you talking about once I got the information, downloads, everything she almost lost her job. So we would sit up there on the third floor and laugh because she's making almost 6 figures a year. She has the least amount of experience for an assistant director. She had no graduate degree, but she got the job over veterans. So we started thinking, and so guess what she was doing in the middle of her day?
What?
Going back to get her master's. So we were sitting there laughing because half her day was off campus working on her master's degree because that was the only way she could keep her job. And she knew she had answered her husband why she wasn't still at her position.
You know what's
I never had a
interesting,
problem
I
with her
noticed?
again.
Something about people. Because you just said something interesting. You said that I vibrate love. That's something, like, almost like it's in your nature. You don't go into situations with anything but that. And a lot of times, because of the world that we live in, I notice that people are quick to deny the existence of pure love in a person. So
yeah, and it's been probably the hardest because, you know, people who vibrate on that pure love frequency, we see things a whole lot different. It's not rose-colored. We see like this. It's not blinding. It's this colorful experience, and it smells good. It feels good. It just is, you know, it feels wonderful. And, you know, people who were denied that, told to hide that, or, you know, told all these weird things when they were younger, you know, or having it beaten out of them to make them, you know, harder because they were too soft, or, you know, it was abused. And, you know, that's why, you know, things happen to you because you allowed it to happen. It's like, how did I allow something to happen when I'm just here doing what I'm supposed to be here for?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't too sure about
people.
I'm not too sure about that particular philosophy.
And people don't get it, you know.
Right. I was just going to say, because it's like when you see people. Oh, go ahead, my bad.
No, you go ahead, because I was going to add something else. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's almost like when people come to you with their negative or their pain, or like when they are projecting their negativity onto others, you don't really get upset with them because you understand you know, and that's a conversation that I have sometimes with my husband because he's very quick to X people out of his life if they display these negative attributes. And I understand that, you know, totally when someone comes to you with this energy, wanting them to, you know, be separate until they grow into who they're going to be. But I'm a little bit different. I understand that most of the time when people are coming to you with that kind of energy, what they're looking for and what they actually need is acceptance even in that state and love even in that state so that they can grow past it. But, like, what suggestions do you have? It's because I know you're highly intuitive and you're very good at reading people and really gauging. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say what I personally do with, you know, people who are in my cipher or people who I assist on their journeys is it depends on the situation. Where, to say, when I was first really coming into standing on my own and trusting my intuition, it was a sister I was working with, and we were friends. And she was still holding on to her pain bodies. Mm-hmm. And being that I've learned how to release my pain bodies, I still have them. Don't get me wrong, because we all have triggers because through our experiences. However, with her was being that she couldn't knock me over with them or make me, you know, scream or, you know, curse her out or, you know, get off of who I knocked me out of place. You know, it was passive aggressive and it became aggressive. And so I heard a word today. I listened to a couple different spiritual innovators, and one of them said, you know, they have a clear face, meaning that it's not even a mirror no more. They're just clear. I mean, they absorb what needs to be absorbed, and what doesn't just stays where it's at. So how that works is, say you're coming to me and you're mad because, you know, your best friend who's been your best friend your whole life, but every time you turn around, she's always doing something to you. Either she's bragging about her new job, she's trying to take your man, she's making you look bad in front of people, she borrows money, and she's not appreciative of your relationship with her, even because you're being loyal, which is a whole other thing. But, you know, that's that kind of situation, you know, and we're getting close as friends. And so a lot of people do what they consider tests, because, you know, we're taught through religion is you have trials, tribulation, and a test, and your testimony is your test. It shows that how well you pass the test, and that's a whole other story. That's a lie, but you know, they test you. So what they want to do is see how much they can get you to vibrate where they're at, so they can say, "See, I told you you was just like what I thought you was. You just like so and so," and that does not work. Because people get mad and it was like, I came at you this way and you didn't. I don't want to reflect, because sometimes reflecting doesn't solve the situation. And you know, it's cute seeing when people say, I'm just your mirror, I'm your reflection. In times you are, but not all the time. Sometimes you have to be clear where it is what it is. And people don't agree with that, but that's part of universal law. Nothing's absolute. You can't change anything just because you feel that you want to change it. An apple's going to be an apple. Even if you make it into sauce, you make it into chunks, you know, apples, you know, whatever you do, it's still an apple. Mm-hmm. And then however way you switch it up, it's still going to be an apple. But the point I'm making is that we have to sometimes just let people do what they need to do and acknowledge the situation at hand for what it is. I don't dig deeper. I don't go into, well, can you tell me when this traumatic event happened to you?
In your childhood.
Go piece blow by blow so I can get an understanding. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I might, you know, mention certain things, especially in traumatic situations, whether it's physical abuse, trauma, sexual trauma, or neglect, anything like that. I don't say, well, your mother beat your ass every day for, 2 years because she was on crack, or your father left, or, this happened to you. I don't do that. But I could see when these early years you had a lot of trauma going on, and this is part of the reason, and this is what we're going to focus on to push you through that. And sometimes you have to push through it until you're strong enough to come back and reevaluate it. So it's the kind of like, sometimes you got to pack the house, put everything in a storage unit, pay the bill up for the year, and when you in a new place and you're in a better, place, period, overall, you can come back and sort through the storage unit and go through the trash, what you want to take to the new place, what you want to sell, what you just want to give away. And if it's really bad, you just let the rent go and let them sell it. You don't have to worry about it. And that's how we have to look at things. Sometimes it's not meant to be picked and carried all at the same time. Sometimes it has to be put to the side.
Let me ask you something. When you were, at first you were kind of by yourself, when you were a younger person, was Daughters of the Moon, was that the first time when you met other people that were like you, where you could collaborate and, like I call it being the weird one, like when you're the weird one and you're all by yourself and you're into spirits and things like that, none of your friends are and stuff like that. Was Daughters of the Moon your first, group, where you really could find a home with other spiritual people as into what you into?
No. When I first started walking this path, I still did it with people in religion, even though I've been out of religion since I was 11, and I really never was in religion because from like 9 to 11, my grandmother made us go to her husband, my grandfather's family church. And that didn't work out too well because they never accepted her because she was a foreigner. And when she left that church to find her own church home, I never was demanded or relegated to go to a church. So I still dealt with people in religion. And for me, it's more of a, I don't look at it as just, I'm lighting candles or I'm, using affirmations or I'm doing all these, spooky things that nobody wants to talk about. I still learn how to come into doing certain things. Okay, my first real experience was I met some sisters in a Black Power movement, and this is, maybe 10 years ago when NEAM was like really the place to be when you were looking for certain groups. And we started talking about roots and herbs and stuff like that. Before that, I never really did anything outside of myself. So I never did candle work. I never did herbs. I never wrote down my intentions on parchment or anything like that. I just kind of sat to myself and transmuted energy. So I've always been one of those. Or if I did pick up certain things, it was really natural for me. It was like not forced. Like I had to go study it and figure it out. And, so I've been doing this like in the know for over 10 years. My grandmother showed me some things, and some of her ways are just, it's too archaic because it's restricted because everything is hush hidden. And I don't do hush hidden, I'll do bold in your face. Daughters of the Moon is when my sister friend, Mama Omi, she hit me up and she was like, yo, I just had this dream and this dream and this, it was me. And she's had a couple, she was around these elders and these women she didn't know. And, and this time she was like, it kept saying, it's time. She was like, I've been wanting to do something big because we've done a few events in the past as a collective. And she was like, I want to do this Black Witch Convention. And I was like, bet you ain't said none of the word, when and how, where you want to go. And from there, it was like, what you need? All right, so let's, we need to do it around the moon. You know what? Let's do it on the new moon. Let's get that energy popping, divine on it. And said, bam, new moon, perfect. All right, so we're going to do it around Halloween. Bam, all right, bam. Everything just lined up in favor. And then from there, it was more like, all right, we got these sisters up my way. We're going to make this pop. And, we just went from there. Being in that space, I can't even, I'm not super, not like big scale stuff, more like private things. But that it was beautiful because You know, we got there. We've been rushing all week. You know, I got there Thursday, and we been running since I got there. And I got there like at 7, 8, 9 in the morning. You know, we've been running since 2. You know,
I could
early.
imagine.
We was running probably since 11 on Thursday. You know, she had been running throughout the week, and she was stressed. I was like, girl, I'll be there on Thursday. Put everything else down. I'll be there, you know. And, you know, running back and forth throughout the DMV area and, you know, to get there. And you see women already lined up outside.
Oh,
getting in,
nice.
You feel the energy. You know, the presenters and the vendors are already setting up, and you can feel it. It's building, starting to bubble up like in a cauldron. Just, you know, everything's starting to get thrown in the pot and come together. And, you know, we got women getting in, and, you know, women who, you know, through the grace of, you know, her ear, you know, saying, no, y'all need to open the door because, you know, we wanted to be able to experience it, but she was like, no, and the spirit said no. When they got divine on, yeah, y'all need to open that door because, you know, some people need to be here and, you know, taking their money and, you know, ushering them back in the line so they can get a seat and walking through the different, you know, presentations and just, I mean, it's like, if you weren't there, I'm telling you now, you better go ahead to the page on Daughters of the Moon on Facebook and like the page and make sure you're following. And make sure you're following us at gmail.com so that you can stay on the list.
Yeah.
If you really want to be in the know, you need to come over to our lean site, daughtersofthemoon.lean.com, and sign up for your membership. It's $25 for a year. You're getting a community. You're getting connections. Not just the community, you're getting connections. You're finding teachers. And you're finding a place where things that may have been seen unreal, they finally make sense. And that's the best place. So you can walk somewhere or you can go somewhere, and as soon as you cross the threshold, you know you're home. And you know you can take your shoes off, get comfortable, and just be there. And that's what this main site is about. So that's getting up and running where we're adding members from the convention and those who are coming in and paying. And we're getting it set up because it's community run. So, you know, some of our presenters who were there, you'll be able to get discounts. You'll be able to be ahead of the game. So when we come back next year on October 20th, I think the 20th to the 22nd, in Baltimore, Maryland, you'll be ready. You won't say, oh, I didn't know. And no, we as people have to stop procrastinating. We have to start becoming planners. Everybody else plans. Everybody else is making moves, and we're sitting here saying, I wish I can do it. How are you going to say you're a witch and you wishing? We don't wish. We make shit happen.
Okay, I hear
That's
you.
what magical people do. You make it happen. It's always something from nothing from something. It ain't no, ooh, I wish I could do it. We had a sister that came all the way from California by herself. She went online, found the cheapest ticket she can find, and booked her ticket and got her and reserved her hotel. If you want something, you'll do it.
Yeah. Tell me about the lineup was like fabulous. I was seeing Kalatunde, you know, was on there. You all were there. And tell me about the type of events that you have at Daughters of the Moon so people could know, you know, like they get a little taste of what was happening.
This was basically we sent out the information, and the responses we got were wonderful. We had Angelique Moss-Greer. She is a wonderful sister. I met her before last year at the Southeast Wise Women Conference, and she's learned the world of herbs through her great-grandmother and her grandmother who raised her. And when we say root working, I mean root working. She is Ifa tradition. And when I say She ain't number like 4'11" on a good day. And we had a lot of presenters who were under the 5 feet mark, but their energy just, you swear they were 6 feet too, I swear. Just, you know, booming voices. And, you know, her grandmother came through her at the end. That's how powerful her presentation was. Her grandmother came through. Sister, you know, Ialosa Akantunde, another powerful sister. We wanted her to do the Into the Womb, and when that didn't go through, we was like, oh, we gonna have you. As soon as the Black Witch came up, we was like, we got you. She was like, I'm coming, I'll be there. And she talked about us regaining our power. Everyone else is using our power by ourselves. We need to regain it, reclaim it, and rebrand it. And when I say it was standing room only and quiet, it was standing room only and quiet. Queen Mother Imaku, she reached out and was like, hey, I'm coming. That was all it was. It was, hey, I'm coming. And I think her and Mama only talked for a few hours on the phone that first time. And when she came and broke it down, it was a wonderful, just, you know, just like sitting at your elder's feet for real. And, you know, lastly, Ianifa Alase, that's Omi's, Mama Omi's godmother. She came in and closed it out. I mean, we had Oshun open the way, Yemaya, who bridged it, and Oya came through and closed it. And when I say it was magnificent, it was magnificent. You know.
That sounds so
really
good.
like that.
Yeah, I got goosebumps just hearing what you were saying.
You know, it was so impactful that all I was able to change into was my T-shirt I made, which said "God is a witch." I wasn't able to change none of my other clothes, because it was like that. It was like, girl, you don't need to change your clothes. Put your T-shirt on and keep it moving.
Keep it moving. I was listening to y'all on y'all Blog Talk Radio, and y'all had some of the guests on there, and that's how I knew some of them. I knew about Ialosa before, but a lot of people I didn't know, and I learned about them from the Blog Talk Radio, and it was so good. Oh, I'm gonna be there next year. I wasn't able to earn the money, but I want to be there next year because this is what I've been looking for, and I think a lot of us have been. Because it's like we off to the corner by ourselves, you know what I mean? And it's this whole world of sisters that's coming together, but you can't miss that. You just cannot miss that. That is what
for the most.
Do you? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, for the most part, I'm still solitary.
You still solitary? Yeah.
I
think a lot of
because I'm a hodgepodge. I'm not Ifa. I'm not, Voodoo. I'm not Akan. I'm not a lot of these things. I know of them. If I have to say I'm anything, I'm more hoodoo, but I'm more like I'm really Obia, because it feels more natural to me. I don't have a spell book. I have books, but they're more reference. Usually I just put some stuff together, and then when I come back, I just want to be nosy and see what it was I put together. And I'm like, oh, shit, that was on the money. Okay, that's why that works, Or, I do a lot more vibrational or what you consider high magic. So you have your low magic and you have your high magic. High magic are the people who do more quantum, cerebral, brain balancing, energy work. Those are people who do high magic because it requires nothing but themselves. Then you have your low magic. These are the people who are, have to have the roots, the sticks, the bones, the herbs, the candle that has to, go. And then you have those who are super with it, where they have to follow the spell book exactly. But you're using someone else's essence.
Yeah. What do you call people who use all of those? Like if I use for things.
It's an eclectic on a hodgepodge. Because like I said, I use Orisha. Even though I'm not Ifa, I use Orisha because Orisha calls out to me. So, but I do a lot of hoodoo. I do some voodoo. I do some Santeria. I work with different things depending on what my spirit is leading me to use. Because it's all the same source. The thing is, if I'm not differentiating or I'm not.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm so excited. I keep talking over you. I'm sorry. I was gonna say it looks
you
like
are fine.
Doing that. Okay, good. I'm glad. I was gonna say it looks like everyone's doing that. Like I went to a Theracet like maybe 25 years ago, almost 30 years ago, and it seemed like everybody was purely into this thing or that thing, and if they went into something else, they left the old one and they got into the new one. But now it looks like all the women are waking up like, I want my magic. And everybody got a little hoodoo. They got a little Ifa. They joining Palo. Nobody's doing like one thing. And all the women are doing some kind of witchcraft. You know what I mean? It's like, and everybody's mixing it. And I think that's good. You know, I think it's very good that you use all the things from your environment and do what you need to do. And I like when you can do it intuitively. Like, I'm getting to the point where I'm doing that right now. You know, it's like cooking. Like, I got to have a recipe book right now. But after a while, you be like, shoot, I just throw this in with that. You know what I mean? And then I know it's going to taste good. You know, so it's like, I'm really loving the way everything's coming together. You know, I like the mixing of it. I really do. I don't think it has to be pure in just one thing all the time, you know?
Well, what I find is those who are only in one thing, that's because they're still stuck to something. And it's usually a patriarchal or male-centered religion or system. You know, I'm going to be good. I ain't going to say what I want to say. You know.
Go ahead and say it.
You know, they only, no, I'm going to be good. I've seen some.
Now listen, this is a free zone. You stay it straight, mama. Stay it straight. No holds barred.
Okay.
Yeah, what we say
I've seen some groups where, you know, only the male practitioners can offer the medicine and they can read it the mat, and you have to go through them for everything. They don't trust the women still because there's still that patriarchal tie on that bond because they know what happens when women regain their power. And the women who I see who are hodgepodging it's because they've woken up and they have a woman priestess or, you know, someone who, you know, is not part of the old guard. That they're allowed to still be themselves and be free. As long as they do what is in accordance. And I'm not saying to the T, but as long as within boundaries. I still see some of that. And so for me, as soon as I say, oh, you know, my so-and-so is so-and-so, I'm like, and go around. I'm not going to collect go from you. I'm going to leave you alone because you're not walking in your own power. You still, you know, we had got some reports from some women was like, oh, you know, I was told I couldn't do this or do that when I came. And what's the point of you coming to the Black Witch Convention if you were given so many damn restrictions to be in the building? Just don't come. We would love to take your money, but we're not going to take your money under false pretenses that you don't understand why you're supposed to be there. It hit your inbox for a reason. It drew your attention for another. But if you got to go ask for permission and then get told all these restrictions, you don't need to be in the building.
Being
you're
free
giving the
is
restrictions
like,
because they can't come with you.
Yeah, so they got to put the leash on.
They can't come steal nothing. Yeah. We
right.
don't do that. We like at a dog park. We roam free. We like a wolf pack. We bandits.
Freedom is important to me.
We're going to cut that bitch down and keep pushing.
Freedom is important to me. I notice, like, I'm always looking at what the younger people do, because before, and back in my day, people were like, you know, they were in that hierarchy and stuff, and I don't think the young people like that. They want to be free, and so do I. I was in the organization for a long time, and I really liked it. The only thing I really miss the most is the group rituals. So when I'm by myself, I don't have that. But, like, I want to be free. I want to do what I want to do. I want to grow at my own pace, and I don't want anybody giving me, like, a million rules. And I think most of the new generation, I think they like that, too. So they're going to love Daughters of the Moon because they get to be free, you know?
But, see, that's the thing, though. It's not just in one thing. I'm using the tag more Black woman magic instead of Black girl magic because I'm a woman, damn it. I am not a maiden. I am a mother. I'm in my mother stage. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown. I'm a grown ass woman.
Hello.
You know, but when you see that tag, Black Girl Magic, and you like, damn, see, that's what I'm talking about. They trying to figure us out. We just taking over. Even when they think they knocking us down and whitewashing shit. Oh, look at the new boxer braids that Kim Kardashian. Who?
Oh,
they been
my
wearing
God.
these motherfuckers. Go back in the pictures since 1700, 1800. You got us in them motherfuckers. You got us. Damn. We there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, ooh, this so-and-so, she created these. Who? Who did what? I didn't even know the bitch could braid hair. So good luck with that. You know, but we over here fighting in different states, you know, and you know personally, Reese, you're fighting it so you can have your license to do natural hair without going to touch no creamy crack.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
That's that bullshit.
But
then they do it, it's so fabulous.
It's so fast. And they sending us
the
home
thing is
home from work with the same things that they celebrating them for.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
You know, so the thing is like, this is us, you know. Like, people say, oh, yeah, we're seeing more of y'all at Comic-Con and stuff. Bitch, don't you read who was in the comic books? It's us. Who do you think these magical X-Men creatures and who do you think these people are? They us.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Did you not read them? You know what I'm saying? Why do you think we've mastered all these things? You know,
Yeah.
You know, they do gymnastics. They let us in. What happens? We take gold. They trying to figure out, we didn't let them have it. We get swimming. We take gold. Tennis, gold. We taking all these stuff. They can't even get gold unless they on the team with us. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think we're doing as people? You know, when you see, you know, young teenage, you know, melanated boys jumping over 2 cars and then still flipping 100 extra feet, or you see the gymnast, you know, just tumbling, barely taking a step, foot barely hit the floor, and she already back in her next intricate twist, and you wondering what's going on, and bouncing to the twerk beat. Come on, who are we?
Yes. We
you know,
back.
And it's that magic, and you know, I'm not just pro black. I'm pro spirit, because that's letting me know, especially these younger children. You know, when you start looking at people who are star seed from different star systems, and we're here on this planet for whatever reason we assigned ourselves to come here. You know, you got these children. Most of them are crystal. They not going to. The crystal children are meant to. They don't give a fuck, and they're gonna tell you they don't give a fuck. You know, and part of the problem is the reason why there's a big misunderstanding is because we had a war on drugs in our communities. You know, when the poverty didn't get us, when the redlining didn't get us, when the jobs and the Jim Crow didn't get us, but that war on drugs fucked us up because it disconnected us 2-3 generations.
Yeah.
You know, to the point where we had the grandparents or the 2 generations before them raising the crystals or the indigo children who came in who were part to dismantle the system because, you know, they wanted them to hold on. And then you got these people who are, you know, in their 40s and 50s now who are part of that first and second wave. They got stuck because they wanted to follow Big Mama because Big Mama saved their lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now they 40 and 50 trying to get back on that second Saturn return where they supposed to be, who they was originally supposed to be, but Big Mama wanted to make sure they were going to live. Because Big Mama was still stuck in that fear.
Mm-hmm.
So we at this shift where, you know, a lot of the people who got it strung out and addicted were indigos.
Right.
You know, now they're fighting their children, their adult children, for, you know, the only thing they can. Well, I'm your mother. I'm your father. You gonna respect me. They don't have that word either. But that's where that disconnect comes from. So we're holding on to pain bodies for something that it should have been a smooth transition.
Yeah.
We see it in other cultures where it's a smooth transition.
Yeah. I remember it too here because my generation, I'm 54, so my generation was a crack generation. So a lot of the younger kids, you know, when it's time for them to listen to their elders, they don't want to hear it because it's like my mother wasn't there for me. So I would say stuff like, well, your mother's always there for you. They were like, no, she wasn't. She wasn't. I raised myself, you know, so I don't want to hear what any older person.
And they're telling the damn truth.
They're telling the truth.
You know,
but it's like the African way is for each generation to help, but it's like you said, it's disconnected. It's broken right there because of all that happened, you know?
Well, but I mean, that's just the last thing that happened. But think about it. Every 50, 75 years, they interrupted 2-3 generations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can you explain that?
You can keep going back, okay? So we have the and they do it for a certain amount of years. So the last frame would have been, it would have been the early 90s through the late 70s. You would have, first it would have been Vietnam War that got them hooked on heroin, on opiates.
Yes, yes.
Opiates. You have the redlining that really took effect in major cities, where the interstate started getting built and neighborhoods got pushed out. Because before that it was infrastructure. I'm going to go to that one. So then you have that, and then you had the drugs came in. Once they got us closed off, they had the drugs coming in. And then when they saw heroin wasn't doing it, even when they were mixing it with unpure properties and they realized it wasn't working, then they moved on to cocaine. But see, then cocaine was the problem because white boys liked it too. White girls liked it too. If you look at them old videos from Studio 54, you can see they was all into it too.
Norton.
On both coasts. So, so they said, oh, we got to cut it different so that, you know, we can cut the line on who's who and what's what, so we can figure out how we're going to charge people. And then it went to crack. And then you saw what crack did. Crack just decimated whole neighborhoods, took people out, you know. And then from there, it just, you know, that. So that was, and then from the crack era, it started the prison system, where the prison system got amped up. Because now prisons became part of the stock market exchange.
Yeah.
All that happened within that 20 to 30 year span. And if you go back 57 years before that, it was, the late 1800s, Reconstruction to the early 1915s, somewhere in there, where you had the migration. Well, first, it was poll taxes, and then we got Jim Crow where they restricted us. And then it was those who left the South or who left certain areas and went to the different major cities where they were afforded opportunities with degrees, but when they got there, they were only allowed certain positions.
Right.
And then from there, they started building suburban neighborhoods that moved us out to us taking over what was left over. And in that part, they also took our neighborhoods for infrastructure. So it built city streets, city parks, and municipality buildings, and we were promised jobs in different governments, which we weren't given until in the 50s, after we went through leaps and hurdles through getting certifications or going through some state-funded college system. Because HBCUs still weren't being accepted unless you were working somewhere directly linked to the people. And then you go back another there, and then you have those who, where race really didn't matter because you could have bought yourself out of slavery, but they made it so hard that, you know, you had the fugitive laws. If they didn't believe you, they threw you back in slavery. If you bought your whole family out, you still had to deal with repercussions of where you were still just a slave sharecropper, or either if you had a business, the business only limited it to those outside of a certain demographic. And even if you did buy farming, you know, a lot of them did buy, able to buy hundreds of acres of land for less than $10, but then they had to figure out how to pay the taxes on them. And so that kind of disenfranchised. If you keep going back, you can see it throughout history, where it's just every time we get 2-3 generations in, something comes through and hits us in the leg, and we go back down. So it's like a racehorse. Every time that racehorse falls, your injury's never gonna get better. So you have no choice but to be taken out of pasture.
What can we do to have consistent solutions actually manifesting for us. Because, I mean, lately I had this conversation too with some people, and I was saying how, I think it was you, Sister Da'ank, if Tulsa, Oklahoma was working, and the only reason those outsiders were able to infiltrate was because they did not have a defense system, spiritual or otherwise, how can we recreate that kind of, and do you feel like segregation is the answer? Because personally, I feel like the only way for us to get ahead is to segregate, to resegregate.
Me too.
What do you think? Go ahead.
I've never and I was an African American Studies major in undergrad.
I see that. I was going to say, you got this tight.
But I'm a history buff too. I love history as well. But integration never was the issue. The issue was economics. It's always been economics. We're not just any major city. I mean, Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, and before it was Charlotte had several black communities, Ballantyne and some other ones where they thrived before they got annexed into the municipality or the corporation. Durham, you'd be like, damn, Durham was a city of medicine, and Duke, not Duke, NC State, Central, y'all Eagles and shit, y'all had these banks and, life insurance, y'all had all this was Durham, you know what I'm saying? Now when you go in them areas, you know what they look like, we gentrified. I went up to Society to go bend for something, and do you know we was the minority in that bitch? And they was looking at us like, what the fuck you doing here? I'm at the Haiti Heritage Center. This is the old St. Paul first black big church in Durham, the cornerstone of the black neighborhood. What are you doing here? Is
right.
I was looking at them.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's just be clear on where you at.
Yeah, it's all.
But it's been everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my thing is, segregation ain't gonna work because people don't understand. We've been in spiritual warfare for so long. This is all spiritual matters now. Now, I didn't vote in the election. I didn't take a part in the election bullshit. Not even local, because local, I live in a county. I ain't too worried about nothing out in the county for me. The only thing I might have to consider was the sheriff. He won up for re-election. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So, for me, it was more of, all right, if the cards going to fall where they may. It's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
I already knew it was going to be Republican. I knew that when Obama went in office the first time.
Yeah.
I said it was going to be Ryan Paul. He didn't run, but he is the Senate House Speaker, right? He's the head of the House. Ain't how that work is president, vice president, whoever's in charge of the House.
Yeah, that's the third person.
That's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then, so it's still a possibility. So now we're talking about we not even 10 days, we ain't even a full week from the election, right? They are already talking about impeaching the president-elect and the VP-elect. They ain't even been sworn in yet.
Yeah.
They already working on impeachment. They ain't even been sworn in.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at his 100-day goals, you be like, well, damn, that ain't too bad. Okay. But see, the thing is, though, y'all have to remember, he is not a part of this system. He didn't come up in politics. He ain't got no good old boy system. All he knows is dollars and cents, how to make it. And when it ain't working money for him, he knows how to throw that shit to the side, let it flounder, and come back stronger because he done found somebody else to invest in him to give him back what he lost. I'm putting that in air quotes. He's a businessman.
Yeah.
So him being a businessman, he don't give a fuck about you. He don't give a fuck about you. He don't give a fuck about that redneck who voted for him. He don't give a fuck about that white bitch who voted for him because she's so happy she's going to grab up with it. He don't give a fuck about none of them. All he cares about is dollars and cents.
Yeah.
If he strengthens the U.S. economics by shutting out all these foreign investors and these foreign agreements, we have to open our borders where business has left. Who's going to get paid? His cronies.
Yeah.
You know, Bush did it. The Halliburton and all them, they went and made that money overseas.
Yeah.
They opened the door so they can leave to make their money overseas and foreign investments because the stock market over there was stronger. The euro was doing a lot better than the American dollar. All this comes down to dollar and cents. Ain't nothing else. And if you couldn't play Monopoly, you're not going to get this neither. This ain't shoots and ladders. This is straight Monopoly. Whoever has the biggest or the best property and they make the best investments, make the most money, and stay alive the longest. This is how this works.
You know what's interesting?
For me, it's more.
No, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead. You're making some good points.
No, I can hold my point.
No, I was just gonna say, as I'm listening to you, because you said that you said segregation is not the answer. It's group economics, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So
because
if you think
we've been. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, all right. So all the groups in the United States outside of European non-melanated people, right? Mexican people who are basically coming back home. Asian immigrants who come here. Any other group of people who visit America as permanent residents, they all, not only do they practice group economics, but oftentimes they live in their own areas. Not in every case, and I understand the distinction that you're making, because just because you physically separate from someone, you still might go to Walmart for your food instead of, if you're Indian, you might not go to the Indian grocery store if you don't have your mind fixed on group economics. But it seems like for some reason, if we're not made accountable as a group and we're separated and we're not moving as a unit, it's difficult for us to practice group economics. Like, how do we fix our minds to practicing that concept without being together, I guess is what I'm saying.
All right. Okay. So I made my status today. Don't save the world, save those who only want to save themselves.
I saw that.
The problem is we've been beaten by the color of our skin. Oh, this race is an illusion. We are spiritual beings in human shells. It's just we come different colors, right? Spirit. I'm speaking a lot of things from a black perspective because I'm black in this lifetime, and I'm going to use Eolosis, but I'm a black woman in this lifetime, so you're going to get my black woman perspective. That's just the way it is. I can't give it to you from a white woman or an Asian woman or a white male. I can't do it because I don't know what that's like. However, we're all on the spiritual plane and the spiritual existence. We all have energy and currency. It depends on how well we're using it. So it comes down to group economics. I've seen some groups where things just flow. The reason why it flows is because people have stepped out of that confined, that box, that limit shit that we've been taught. Oh, you're white, you're black, y'all can't mix together. Oh, you know that her people are the reason why you're living this way. She wasn't there when her people did this to me. So who did what? You know, that kind of stuff. So it makes things hard because a lot of people want to be stuck in that pain body. And it's a pain body. It's the biggest pain body because it's the biggest illusion we've ever been taught. Now, the reason why other groups get together is you got groups from, okay, how can I put it? So like, in Chapel Hill, okay? Chapel Hill in North Carolina has like a whole neighborhood. Almost everybody in there some either Korean or some type of Southeast Asian. Almost the whole neighborhood. They've got it where almost the whole neighborhood is on lock, right? They ain't the same religion. They're Christian or some of them Muslim. But guess what? They decided to come together and invest in a subdivision, and the only people they allow is their homeowners association is someone who's like them based on their beliefs. The belief is that if we do this together, we make money together. That's the only way it works.
So basically selective desegregation.
Yeah.
That's still,
because they all have the same goal. If you have the same goal, it don't matter what the color of your skin, your gender, or who you pray to. If you have the same goal, I want to get $1 million for this end of the year. You got it, I got it, she got it. Guess what? It don't matter. Because the goal is we get $1 million each minimum before this year is out by any means necessary. So we're going to do whatever we need to. If we got to do a SUSA, a money pot, we're going to do that. Everybody put your $10 in. When your turn comes, you get the whole pot so you can help you pay some bills.
Yeah.
So that's what you do in group economics. All right. So we all going to order bulk this month. All right. So what we're going to do is we fuck Whole Foods. We're going to go directly to the source, Frontier, because that's where they getting their shit from anyway. I got my wholesale tax ID number. Bam. We a co-op. Everybody pay their $10 a month. So now we $10 a month in. That pays the fees. So that way you order what you want. Your $10 covers us to keep the co-op open. So everybody can have an equal vote. And then every month I put out an order form. You tell me what you want. You pay me your money. You come to the spot and we drive it up. No, of course you don't need a 25-pound bag of flour. But if it's 5 of us, all of us get 5-pound bags and split that bitch up and take it back to the house. You bring your container, you bring your bag. We all got flour to last us the next month.
Right.
That's how you start doing things. Because, you know, as a wholesaler, from a business standpoint, you're always going to save more money than someone buying it retail. If I can get flour for, let me say, 15 cents on the pound instead of paying $3 a pound, and a 5-pound, I'm paying, you know, which one makes more sense to you? I'm going to pay 15 cents a pound. I don't want to pay no $3 and change for a pound of flour.
Exactly.
I'm going to need more than a pound of flour to last me for the month. So if I'm going to go in, I'm going to go in all the way. The thing is group economics. It's the goal. You got people where it doesn't matter what they look like. They can pray to whoever. I've seen it where I've been up in Philly where I've been around Muslim sisters. They all come from different backgrounds. Some of them are even from this country. They've married men from all over the diaspora. So guess what? Them and their co-wife get along just fine. Them and the women who are part of that can't think of the word. All of them are part of that, you know, that, I don't want to, it's not temple. What did they go to? That mosque. They all there for group economics.
Right.
You know, it's a whole family of 5 people living in 2-bedroom apartments. Why? Because they all got a goal. They all want to save something. You know.
That's right.
That's what you do when you have a goal. Thing is, we are no longer goal oriented. We're taught to get it and hoard it. Who the fuck are you helping? Nobody. You ain't even helping yourself. Because when you need help, someone now they're going to have a handout saying, I'll help you, but it's going to cost you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost you more than what a handout for.
Right. Instead of thinking of how we could build something together, you bring your ideas to the table, I bring my ideas to the table, and we build from that point. It's like that. And even if you providing people with something, I notice a lot of times we get to a point where we become arrogant. And I see that happening a lot with, like, those of us who started out, like, humble, you know, I mean, especially with the brothers. And you see it a lot with the sisters, too, but there's, like, why can't we stay humble while we getting it, you know?
Okay, well, the thing is, you don't want to be humble either, because humble means on earth. You have your stars in earth. So if you're both, you can't be one or the other. You got to be all of it. So to be humble is that you're not holding your stardust in your hands now. For me, it's a matter of, it's not that have not learned how to heal. People say, oh, I'm fine, girl, I'm doing good. Shit, sorry as hell as soon as they close their front door.
Mm-hmm.
They got so much makeup on, covering all the skin, they look like shit, and they're like, that girl, like her locks and her nails, be sick as hell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's smiling, she had to cover her mouth because her teeth falling out. You know, you looking at people, but they're wonderful, and you're looking at them, but see, they don't know you reading them.
Right.
They're so used to being flashy and they got their shit together. But if you have go ahead and say, I'm doing great. We're past how you doing. I'm good. What about you? No, we past argue. How are you really doing? I had a rough night. I had a deal with my it was 5 in the morning, and he had a fever. He come over here, he get some stuff done. We don't know. Because we so worried about hush, who's going to be in our business, who's going to talk about us. We don't know how to open up. In order to heal what's vulnerable, you have to open up and expose your deepest and your darkest in order for you to get to the level that you can be in the shadow. You know what I'm saying? People say it's either or, and I've heard it from different people. And it's, people want to be positive or they want to be neutral. Sometimes you got to knock that bitch in neutral and coast. We don't have it, like they used to back in the day. At the current time, you knock that bitch in neutral. Somebody help you push that bitch. You and you don't got that. I gotta wait for somebody to talk. Sometimes you just gotta let it roll, and people don't know how to do that because they've been taught we live in duality. If it's all one, then it's making it difficult. If you take it all back to one, you make it so simple. It relieves the stress, it relieves the fear. It takes all that away because now that's not part of the equation. It's just one. When people start realizing that, you can see a lot of things. And part of the problem is ego likes hurt. Ego likes pain. Ego doesn't want you to be vulnerable. You need ego to survive. But a lot of people, their ego just running around like a damn 2-year-old child telling you what to do. You 50 years old, and your 2-year-old tell you, no, you want SpaghettiOs. No, you want to wear tutu and some hot pink lipstick on your foot. Like, but yeah, it makes no sense. But that's what a lot of people are doing because they'll be proved wrong. No. If you right, I'm right, and it's right. What is the difference?
Right.
So, and that's the people don't understand universal laws and agreements. And so it sounds good. I'm sovereign. What are you sovereign from? I'm free. Free of what? Do you even know what this is? It's really good. So and so said, I went and heard a debate, and you tell you the same shit he told you in the video. You too free. Don't understand it. But you got money to waste your time with time to get back. Because if we're not figuring that one out, we all be sad. But it's just some things people just, instead of taking the time to do the things that they need to sit still and get to know who they are, start healing themselves, start pulling back the pieces and the legs they denied for so long, start pulling house. Physically, spiritually, and emotionally, we'll be in a better place, but that takes work.
Yeah.
That takes dedication. In the beginning, it's going to take sacrifice because you're going to have to cut some shit off. You're going to have to cut some weight, some people, some food, some everything, so on, so that, and then drinking is killing you because every time you drink, you get sick. Amen. Because you have too much. So I don't want it. What you doing with it? Or every time you have sex with 2 or 3 different people you don't know who love you, but you still and standing there with the yeast instead of the BV, and they walking around free. Or they pass on to the Miss Emily that are passing. That's the problem. We're so used to pushing things until we're full, and then we won't have a spiritual breakdown. Happen. It's gonna happen. So sit still. It ain't gonna kill you. I know that say sitting still is the devil's work. Yeah, you are the live one that's being trapped. So sit still and let some of that shit release. You'll feel a whole lot better.
Right. Yep. Well, Sister Ann, can you give us any closing remarks? What do you think, like what last bit of advice do you have, especially for women, especially younger sisters who are kind of looking up to the movements that are happening right now with, you know, I guess the awareness of your magical self as a woman, and anything you have going on, how people can reach you, your social media, the whole nine.
My closing remarks would be for young women is to always honor your voice. Don't be the martyr to save your mama or your big brother's feelings because they don't want you to do something. Honor your voice.
Amen.
Even if you can't verbally speak it, still honor it. Because it's a way around everything. You don't have to be the rebellious one that makes it bad where now you have to don't have a plan, you know. But if you honor yourself, you'll go much further. If I could have honored myself at a young age, I'd probably be further along. Actually, I'd probably be right where I'm at now, but doing it on a little bit larger scale. But do not deny that voice. When something doesn't feel right, honor it. When something feels wrong or, you know, go to the left. When you have no way to express it, write it down or meditate on it so that it can become a part of you or an imprint. And if it's something that you can add to your daily life, do it. If you don't want to eat meat and your mama and them to understand, get you a part-time old enough and make your own damn food. You don't have to sit still because someone doesn't want you to do something. You don't like the clothes that's being sold, make your own. Learn how. Mm-hmm. We live in a day and age, you can learn anything. There's no excuse.
Right.
I am Antoinette Kenion. I am on Facebook as Ann L. Kenion. My company's name is Moonlit Journeys with an S. I am Moonlit Journeys CO on social media. That's Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, and Twitter. I do intuitive readings. I do intuition workshops. I do transformative guidance where I guide you to your healing. What else? I do a little bit of everything.
Do you still have class?
At Psychic Fair. Go ahead.
Oh, I had saw something about the classes that you were giving, the workshop, the intuitive workshop.
Yeah, I do workshops. I'm debating if I'm going to do one more before the year's out.
Okay.
That's the intuition workshop. I do spiritual consulting, where it's a mix of me doing guidance as well as some intuitive work. And then I have created oracle cards where I have different visions. I have I think 5 to date. It tastes like honey, pantry witching, kitchen alchemy, and affirmation. I'm currently reworking on my site. However, I do have everything on my social media. If you would like to contact me, feel free to email me at moonlitjourneysco@gmail.com. I'm pretty much free throughout the week if I'm not working on a project. I do take appointments. And just a reminder, I am an independent consultant, meaning I don't do nothing for free.
Thank you.
I have to say, I get here, and I got it, and it kind of burnt me a little bit because it was in one of the groups that should know better. Universal law is there's an exchange in everything we do. We don't live in this, oh, you just take. No, you give and you take. It's not one or the other. It's both. And when you're doing spiritual work, I have a set price because I live in a world where they like U.S. dollars, and U.S. dollar makes a lot of sense to Duke Energy, CenturyLink, T-Mobile, and the grocery store.
Thank you.
And if you would tell my 11-year-old son who's at home with me, he's 170 pounds, 5'3", and we don't have money to put on his PlayStation Network, you got a problem. So do not inbox me saying, can you get a free reading? Can you pay me later? Can you get any reading? I didn't offer none of that. No. My prices are fair. They are going up at the end of the year because I'm worth it. I have repeat clients throughout the United States and throughout the Caribbean. Yeah. I have clients who call me every 2 months or twice a year, and they are in my inbox with every damn thing you told me happened the way it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that to be a braggart, but I am going to toot my horn because I'm in alignment with the spirit. Now, the only thing things don't work out is because people fail to do the work. I just don't give you a reading and say, oh, go off on your merry way. No, I'm straight, like I'm on the line, right in the straight, no chaser. I'm going to give you the work. I'm not going to do the work for you. I'm going to tell you to go get your damn camera, do your own good work, and do what you're supposed to do. Yeah. If you know you ain't supposed to be at your job, you ain't supposed to be with that loser boyfriend, you got to leave him around. You got to let him go. If you know you're supposed to be moving, but you don't want to move because you love the area and it ain't yours.
Right.
I had a reader not too long. They found me online, and you know the reading was going great until that nigga got mentioned. And when that nigga got mentioned, it went down here real quick. And then it was, can I get a refund? The reading was over, and was like, no, I don't do refunds. I don't agree with you. And this is now. I'm just saying that, but that was. It didn't go the way you wanted it to go. When you it's staring you in the face, how much can something stare you in the face is your own damn reflection looking back at you with the screw face on and you figure out the problem. You know, and it's
you might as well go ahead anyway. You might as well go ahead because
the thing is though is people, they say they have their own intuition discernment. Dude, ego is driving the damn bus. Guess where you gonna get? No fucking where. Mm-hmm. But see, the thing is, I've learned how to step out of the box. I put myself in neutrality. I know how to sit still and judge it accordingly. Mm-hmm. I'm my own and my judge and jury. And I do that with everything. I'm my own judge and jury. And anything I do or say, it represents me as a person or a spirit. That's how Spirit got me where I don't tell lies. I can't tell a lie. I may not give it to you the way they tell you to because they don't care. They ain't got no repercussions on this side. Yeah. And some of the things they say, some of the things I feel and say, be glad that ain't what you do. Because, you be laughing. I be saying, like, you really want me to say that to them? Like, say the way I said it. You'd be like, why you had to be so? That wasn't me. I was told to tell you exactly this way so you can understand it, feel it, and get it. Because there's no excuse. We live in the land. There's no excuse.
They ain't sugarcoating shit.
In the 60s, pants to fall. There's no such thing as a free lunch. We make shit out here for free. There's no excuse. We live in a world where we have open source. We have free internet and interwebs where anything you can find. If you want a book, guarantee, give yourself 2 weeks. I bet you can find the book. You may not find in them first 10 pages of Google, but if you keep looking, I bet you can find it. You put it out there looking for something. Somebody say, I got that. Give me your email. I sent you the PDF. $300 books in your inbox free. You got to know how to work your magic.
Yeah.
Build your power. No excuse. We live in a day and age. There's no excuse for nothing. Oh, I can't live. I can't travel. But you can go out I saw a post today. Nobody got a passport. But you drinking $5 Starbucks, you wearing Ferragamo's, you at the Aldi store, you at the Mac counter, and you got the good Brazilian weed that's, $100 a pack. What you mean you can't afford to travel?
Right.
And guess what? It's a black company that created a layaway system for you to travel confused.
I can't wait to get in the My passport got 1 stamp. You need more.
I haven't even used mine. I got to redo my son's, and I got to get my mother's, and this, 2017, I'm about to hit it. And people come like, where you at?
Costa Rica.
I already got it. Oh, Costa Rica is on the list. Costa Rica is on the list. Puerto Rico, I'm home and resettled. I'll be out there. I'm not playing with nobody this year. Either you with me or you ain't. You can't come with me. You need to be funding the trip. That's easy. I don't know how it's going to get no better.
Thank you so much, Ann. Thank you. This is such a pleasure. Such a pleasure.
I thank you all.